So that's chemical conversion. But also there's the electrical nature. The nerves also bring nerve impulses through motor nerves. And when I want to contract my muscles, an impulse coming to the nerves, and there are areas with the nerve ends, your muscle fiber, there is synapses or whatever you want to call it, and then suddenly that impulse is changed, and then the muscle fiber contracts. So that's called electrical impulse. Suppose you cut that motor nerve or the nerve which coming to the muscle fibers, you feed the muscle fiber with vitamins, all the proteins, etc. That comes to the bloodstream. The bloodstream is bringing all the nourishment you are eating. But if you don't bring the nerve current, eventually there's no nerve current coming, the muscle will die. We all know that too. And so the prana, the nerve current is as important as the chemical nature. So your whole body has been connected to the nerves, with the nerves, and some of the nerves called motor nerves, which bring the impulses to your muscles and organs like your legs, etc. And some impulses go from the sensory, called sensory, which goes from the senses, from the skin, from the eyes, hearing, taste, smell, etc. It brings the message impulses to the brain, and brain accepts or rejects. Some of the impulses it rejects, like touching a hot stove. It's very painful. Other impulses are beautiful music to accept, but a wrong type of sound like that. When you can accept a Veena sound, but when the raccoon start making sound, we couldn't accept that, That's called. So same sound, different sounds. So some we accept, some we reject. Some food we like it, some food we reject it because taste is not good. The impulses are good. It is good. I mean, some food is better for your body, though it may not tasty. It's good for the health, but you prefer to have an impulse, a positive impulse, a pleasant impulse than healthy food. That's why you have like hot dogs and hamburgers and dead food. It gives an impulse, but though it's not good for the health, but you accept it. Like smoking, first time when you smoke, the impulse is very bad. So body start coughing and throwing out. But you send on a message, come on, keep quiet. It's okay, you can smoke. And eventually it become a habit, create negative habit, become a habit for you to. So the prana means then this is called energy which is going afferent and efferent currents, or prana, apana, yin and yang, various names are there. So that's called electrical in its nature. So we got two type of system, both physical as well as astral. The electrical energy must come from the astral body and be stored in the astral body. And we recharge the pranamaya kosha, astral body, solar plexus, the central storehouse of energy, like a car battery stores electricity. It not only starts the car and gives light, etc., but if you continuously start using all the electricity, the same 2-load battery will be dead within 15-20 minutes. So there's a dynamo. As the engine start moving, the chemical energy is turning the dynamo and convert that again, the magnetic energy, magnetism into electricity to recharge the battery. So both ways it happens. You start the engine with electricity, and then the combustion, the chemical nature will again recharge through the motor, and the motor start functioning, it will recharge the battery. So there is give and take, both ways it goes. Same thing, we use the electricity from the astral body, pranamaya kosha to the physical body, so physical body will glow like a bulb, and then when the body is discharging, we recharge it through food, that's the vegetables, raw food, etc., water, and the sunlight and the air. And that's the purpose of breathing, to recharge. So this chemical reaction which takes place through the breathing is also affect the subtle nerves, and the energy is to replace what is lost in our daily activities, because prana is necessary for thinking, willing, action, emotions, anger, etc. Release this energy violently. So also many of our emotion thoughts like fear, emotions, etc., anger, etc. Devitalize the body, and half an hour, 15 minutes of terrible anger, your body becomes devitalized. You've got no energy. Though chemically there's nothing destroyed, but emotionally it drains out the prana. You always say, "Oh, I am drained out completely." Then why can't you just fill up with the chemical proteins and carbohydrates? You can easily fill it up. Buy $5 of vitamin pills. That's all. You can easily fill up. But you cannot recharge the drained body by vitamins and proteins, etc. That's why pranayama is important. And many people discharge this prana, and especially one of the worst way to discharge is the too much sexual act. It's a catabolic process, sexual act. Tremendous amount of apana is being used. I'll come to that later. Maybe this evening I won't be able to finish everything properly, but I'll talk evening also. So there are energy in the body, impulses, which come to the physical nerve. In the astral body, come to the astral nerve called nadis. And they are interconnected. One affects the other. If there is a physical pain, it affects your thought and your prana. If there is something wrong with your mind and the thought and the prana is disturbed, it will affect your thinking, your physical actions. And as long as the prana comes in a systematic way, then you call it the person is alive and able to perform action like an intelligent person. And this impulse can come by your control, like the muscles. I can control slow motion. Means I'm sending the thought motor energy to the motor nerve in a very slow motion. And if I want to go more, again I think I must go faster, 20 times per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. And suppose I want to make 80 times, I have to go faster. So according to my thought, the motor nerve brings the impulses, and so thought and prana are interrelated. One affects the other. According to thought, your prana moves, and according to prana, your physical body reacts. So I can also go to very slowly. The same thing happens to your respiratory muscles, just like the biceps and triceps. You got respiratory muscles. The important one is the diaphragm and the intercostal muscles. You all know we are breathing for a long time. And just the muscles, you can also control the motion of the diaphragm and intercostal muscles voluntarily. If you are not aware of it, involuntary functions will go on. But even these involuntary functions will change according to your thought. That's called polygraph or lie detector machine. You connect a person with a hook of his respiratory muscles and blood pressure and galvanic skin resistance. This is called electrical in nature, and this is called polygraph. And you can see in the graph, you ask a person's name, what's your name? Say, I'm Mr. So and so. And then suddenly you ask, how old are you? With a person, especially woman, past 50. Oh, I am 40, 45. And suddenly you can see the breathing pattern changes, blood pressure changes, and the galvanic skin resistance will change. Then by that time, we know that the person told a lie, you see. That's how they detect lies. So every thought changes the breathing pattern, or the impulse coming from the respiratory center to the respiratory muscles is changed. And so the breathing, you may not see ordinarily, but a machine can easily detect these things. But also you can detect in a violent state, a person is very, very angry. I'm going to kill him. The impulse become very irregular and disturbed. So yogis say you can control these impulses by controlling the physical breath. Just like I control through my thought the motion of my muscle, same way I control if I want to go fast breathing. Or I want to go slowly, or still slowly,